When me and my girlfriend had to quarantine early 2020, I bought a 2000 piece puzzle. We had never done puzzling before, and at the beginning we were quite motivated. Now it's lying around since then, kind of. But hey, we made progress. We already have the Las Vegas sign, and we had a lot of fun actually. It's just that it takes so much time, because we are new to this as well. We have spent a lot of time into this. I mean, it's 2000 pieces, and at the current stage, it probably takes us an hour to find one single piece. So I wonder what brings us to put 2000 hours, or I don't know how long it takes for you, probably faster than for us, but what brings us to use hundreds and thousands of hours to do puzzles? While I was just doing the late night puzzling at 3 a.m. here, something came to my mind that we as humans all do and we enjoy. So when I sit down to puzzle, we usually start, and I'm not sure if that's the correct way, it's my first puzzle. Usually start to look around to all those pieces. Then I'm trying to seek some puzzles that look very similar and put them together like this. Now obviously some of the puzzles down here, for example, it's just a hot mix of red color-ish, right? You can't start trying them all out. You have to further divide them into smaller groups. And this group seeking or pattern seeking is something that is ingrained into the human species. We are very good at this. Oftentimes we find patterns where there are not even any patterns. Pattern recognition of us humans is also where superstitions come from. If we do something and something else happens, our brain tries to figure a relationship between those two out, even though there's no logical reason why this would be the case. Still, our brain does the pattern recognition, and that's why we believe in superstition sometimes. So when I started, there were these two pieces lying around, and these other 5 pieces were lying in this mix below here and then some over there. And I looked around and say, hey, those two look similar, but they can't fit together here and they don't fit like this. So there has to be something in between. So then I started looking, what does look similar to this pattern here? Now, obviously they don't look exactly the same like them, but we as humans recognize that those are of the same kind of like this. As soon as new information, like seeing a puzzle somewhere, as soon as this information enters our brain and our short-term memory, our brain automatically activates the pattern recognition and searches in the long-term memory for patterns that fit this new information. And doing puzzling kind of trains that. When you have a child and you say A, B, and the child says C, that's because the child has learned that as soon as the child hears A, B, and the information enters the brain of the child, it automatically searches for the pattern recognition that the C is coming after A, B. Pattern recognition is not only useful to us humans, but also to animals. They find something to eat with that. If they know they can eat this food, and they find food that looks similar, they find the pattern and then they also eat that food. That can also trick them into eating plastic, for example. So since we were reliant on seeking those patterns, what we can eat, our brain learned also to enjoy training this skill. When I play poker, it's kind of hard to resist the pattern recognition and try to think logical about stuff. So aces are the strongest hand in poker, right? But if you lose 3 times in a row with it, you have to turn off your pattern recognition and turn on your logical brain in order to not be scared the next time you get aces. Pattern recognition also allows us to read words. So when you are reading, all you have to know is the first letter and the last letter and how long the word is. And then you can read. You can read this text here, for example, right? There's random letters in the middle, but your brain recognizes the first letter, the last letter, and the length, and searches automatically for a pattern to match that with a word. We as humans are also good in recognizing faces. As soon as we see a face, our brain searches for information where we have seen that face before. That's why sometimes you watch a movie and see, hey, I know that guy from somewhere, and it's making you crazy. But sometimes he's just triggering something in your brain and you don't really know him. The reason we like puzzles is the same reason that kids like to play with colors and structures. Kids like that. And why? Because of also of that pattern recognition. And they also like puzzles, just like us. Seeing patterns that don't actually exist is called apophenia. When you look in the clouds, you see all sorts of stuff. That is apophenia, an example. So I hope apophenia is not happening when I look at those puzzles. Maybe they don't really fit and my brain is just making something up. I hope not, though. You try to find stuff that fits together. And if you find this piece that fits into the other piece, it is a moment that we really enjoy. Yeah, and I only have 1,800 moments of enjoyment until we're done with this. And that's also something. Once you're done with this, I mean, I can't speak so much for that since I have never finished a puzzle. But I can only imagine, like, if you have done it, then it's like really cool that you did this. This is going to be our next puzzle over there. And we have to finish this before though. The next one is going to be a little bit easier. And once you have started a puzzle like me, like us, you also want to finish it. Even if you're not very motivated to keep going at the moment, you also don't want to destroy this. The alternative to destroying and not leaving it on the ground is like finishing it. That effect is the sunk cost effect, or sunk cost fallacy actually. We as humans also like to not lose what we have made, even though maybe it does not make sense for us to finish this, but we put already so much work into it that we don't want to lose the work that we have done in this. This was actually the very first video that I made. You can check it out here, about the sunk cost fallacy. In most cases, we want to try to stay logical and avoid the sunk cost fallacy, fight against it a little bit. But when it comes to the puzzle, I can't help it. Like, I don't want to destroy this. We made this, and that's just how it is. It is feeling bad, and then you talk yourself into it, finishing it basically. But let's enjoy the sunk cost fallacy for once. If you want to find out more about the sunken cost fallacy, there's this video right here. And if you maybe somewhere in between, there's earlier versions of this puzzle in my other videos right here. Check them out.